Hey, well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning for wherever you are in the world. I got to look at this camera here because my other camera crapped out this morning. Power adapters, but that was just the start of our technical challenges. Everybody, I've got Phillip here, and Phillip, dude, thanks for giving us your time today, and we're going to talk a little bit about your story. And quite a few people in the community know who you are. You've been very active in the community over the last couple of years, and I'm very thankful that you're taking your time and went through it. And boy, you had a rough day today. Where are you in the world, man?
Absolutely. I'm in Germany. I think most people will know actually from our community, but
Hmm.
exactly located around Hamburg.
Oh, that's cool. And I noticed on your Telegram you've got a Swedish flag and an Australian flag. And I just naturally assumed that you were born in either one of those two countries, but you were born in Germany, right? And you've got Australian and Swedish roots.
Yeah, I was born in Bielefeld. If anyone knows it, probably not. Maybe some that come from Germany will know it because it's a famous city in Germany. They say it doesn't exist as a fun story, but yeah. No, I have the flags because my parents actually are Swedish and Australian. That's the whole story to it.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. Um, I think about this a lot, is the international community. And, crypto is really cool that way. That, you and I have the opportunity to speak, and we've got some semblances, but we were talking about tea. And I had mentioned, you're drinking your tea and you're showing me a little contraption there, and you lit a little candle underneath it to keep it warm. I said, holy cow, that's really cool. And as a Canadian moving to America, one thing I noticed is not a single American I know has a kettle under counter. And boy, that's bizarre. How do they heat that up? And here I'm talking to all these Europeans, and they're sipping their tea, and boy.
Well, in fact, I don't think that's European. I think that's more, I've got that from my mum, who's Australian. And as we know, Australians are former English ones that
Mm.
fled the country. So they kind of have the culture of England too.
See,
So,
that's what I'm talking about. It's so fascinating to learn about culture. And here's an interesting statistic: 25% of Americans have a passport, 75% of Canadians, and I believe it's 80% of Europeans. And so Americans are very closed in terms of their culture, worldly, and that's why I like to take my kids out of the country to learn about other cultures. You know, and
yeah.
crypto has given us that. So listen, how long have you been in crypto?
Well, I think I've been in crypto since mid 2017. I actually didn't directly hear from anyone there to invest in it.
Mm-hmm.
I got told, I think in 2016 it was, by a friend of mine or a friend of a friend of mine um, about Bitcoin because he was thinking about mining it. And I was actually thinking I was a smart ass and said, no, it's not profitable, not even knowing about what it was. And I never looked into what it was back then. And in mid 17, I just came with my memories. They came back, and I thought to just follow up and read what it's all about. So that's when I first researched about crypto.
There's a big group of people that got introduced to crypto at the same time as you, and we all
Yeah,
know that,
definitely.
and that was
Well,
the
we were the ones buying in and bubbling it up.
yeah, no kidding. And
uh,
now there's people taking profits. Now that we've hit 19 all time high
yeah,
again.
yeah. Well, I didn't take any profits back in the end of 2017. I actually moved into altcoins then, and rode the whole way right down.
Yeah, that seems to be a pretty common story.
Yeah,
And so you've had an interesting couple of years, and you've been a
I
part
think
of
you all
the.
have. Yeah.
At some point in time in 2017, you discovered Phantasma. I'm guessing that was post ICO.
Was that 2017? The ICO?
Um, I'd have to get a confirmation on the exact date, so I'm not there. But
I
yeah, it was.
thought it was 2018. To be honest, I'm not
Yeah.
not don't want to say anything false though. Um, but no, I didn't hear about it in the ICO. I heard about it a little bit later, and I didn't even hear about Phantasma. Actually, I started playing Natural Man, not even knowing what Soul was, and yeah, that's how I slowly got to Phantasma.
That's interesting. And I've met quite a few people that have been introduced to Phantasma through 22 Racing Series as the game itself, and weren't familiar with. Speaking of 22 Racing Series, you got some cars behind you on the
Yeah, but I
wall.
don't think you can see it from here now, so far
No,
away, huh? No.
no. I mean, this dude's as passionate as I am here. Putting stuff up on our house about this product and about this chain. So, yeah, early 2018, the ICO happened. What I was trying to get an establishment of is when you discovered Phantasma, pre-ICO or post-ICO.
Yeah, it was definitely post ICO. I don't
So,
know. It was when Natural Man went live, and yeah,
and so you fell in
it was
love, or,
definitely
or
running.
you enjoyed this game and started to learn about.
Yeah, I didn't even fall in love then. No, I just played Natural Man, and actually I left all my soul I had then on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
I started. Well, Uh, I didn't straight love the game that I was playing it, but it was a great scalping, as it's called, scalping opportunity to buy the cheap naturals and just sell them for 20 soul more. So that's how I would just trade. I was trading the luchadors. That's what they were called.
That's wild, man. So just to get a recap here, you got introduced to crypto. Bitcoin was going on a massive bull run. You invested into it. You kept some coins in there, and then Bitcoin and the industry just completely took a drop, and you got introduced to altcoins, and you went on that run for 6 months to a year, and then you discover Phantasma.
Yeah, it was a
Sound
little
about right?
rally on the way there. Yeah, I moved from Bitcoin. I moved to Ethereum, where I just was unsatisfied how the space was. Moving to Neo, where I also just was unsatisfied with it. That made me finally land at Phantasma. Yeah.
And here's the big, and pun intended here, the $1 million question. Um, Why'd you stick with Phantasma and invest your energy and your passion for the last year and a half to 2 years into this project, and not, choose to spend your time elsewhere?
That's a good question, and the answer would be quite long, probably, I'd assume.
I got my coffee and I got time.
No, we'll have to start with Bitcoin then. Just saying that I invested in it as pure speculation for the future success, and I just didn't see adoption really was a possibility with Bitcoin back then. Definitely not when you didn't have BitPay and what it was,
Right.
or those apps. Landing at Ethereum, where start of 2018, the fees just got so incredibly high that it was just not usable. And that was about the time that Neo was born too, introducing different consensus mechanism to actually offer free transactions, which I thought was a great concept that had the potential for mass adoption. That's how I saw it back then. And it was that time where Soul then was a NEP5 token, and Natural Man was literally then a Neo DApp, what I was playing, that I just had sitting on the side there. And then the situation was that the Neo chain got spammed completely. So it was on days on a row that was not usable anymore. And I could never withdraw my funds. I could never do anything with it. It was just pure frustrating. Which actually had me drop out of crypto completely for that small phase. Not selling my funds, just not engaging at all in the ecosystem and Telegram, etc. Until actually the Goatee announcement. Yeah, the partnership with Goatee was what actually really hooked me. Yeah, have to think back. It's quite a long time ago. Yeah, and then I just slowly got fed more and more a little bit about the chain futures that were coming, and the mainnet got launched, and I I just saw that adoption is actually a thing with Phantasma. Not a thing, but it's definitely possible. And when you think about blockchain as a thing, and ask the question, what is blockchain? Actually, it's nothing someone has to invest in. Blockchain is the infrastructure, actually, and it just has to work. And what people invest in, or what people should invest in, actually are the dApps running on it. So finding out more and more, seeing the scalability and all Phantasma has to offer, just made my bells whistle that it's coming. So easy. And I've looked left and right, and I've looked at the whole industry, and I've seen no other cryptocurrency where I've actually just thought, okay, I stand behind my investment. I can see it's the next Apple, or it's the next Amazon.
Wow. There's certain times, again, you're giving me goosebumps, and I think about that a lot. And, when we break it all down and go all the way back to defining blockchain, and, I tend to relate it to a lot of different aspects in my past. And, there was a time, I come from the world of the algorithm. And, 15, 20 years ago, the algorithm was not entrenched into our lives. But the algorithm now is entrenched in every aspect of our lives, and we don't recognize it. We don't realize it, and we don't even need to know anything about it, but it's there. And to me, that's, history does repeat itself, that blockchain, I wholeheartedly believe that blockchain is going to be a part of all of our lives in a variety of different aspects, and we won't even know that it's there.
Oh, absolutely. If you think about it a little bit deeper, the world's turning to a 5G network all over the place, and the history has actually been survival of the fittest, also for states, for governments. So the governments can ban crypto, but they also on the back end know if they fall back on the development phase of it, they'll be not superior. What's the opposite of superior?
just not, shitty.
Yeah, would they be shitty? And another country will literally bomb them, or probably won't be bombing them, but it would be drones coming in 5G networks, or communicating robot army that will fall into the country. And it's not just on that scale, it's also households that are turning into smart homes everywhere across the globe. And I wouldn't want to have a smart house or drive a self-driving car that's not on blockchain technology. Think about, you're driving a car and it's hackable. That would be crazy. Insane. Someone who hates you could just go in and say, okay, car, steer left into the wall, or buy things over your Alexa, or whatever they want. And blockchain is the only technology on the earth that actually offers immutable and hack resistant abilities to dApps.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It kind of reminded me of a video when you talk about this, and I want to wrap my head around a little bit more. So when I'm talking about blockchain to the average user, how to conceptualize it in plain English. And there's this video I watched about how difficult it was to hack a 52. I'm going to struggle a little bit here, but a 52 character encryption. And the odds of that, for example, the odds of getting hit by lightning were this far up the scale, and it showed all these different odds. And when it got to the ability to crack that 52 key encryption code to get into a private wallet, it was like just incredible numbers. Hang on a second here. My computers ring when my phone calls. It's beyond me. I don't know how to turn that off.
On that point, also interesting is even if it's possible with quantum computers, just the amount it would cost is in no relation that it would actually be profitable to do it. If they spent the same amount in hash power towards the network, they'd earn just a lot more than spending it to hack one private wallet. So it's actually never, or at least for the next hundreds and hundreds of years, not profitable to do it.
It's like So if we agree that blockchain is going to be a technology that is going to be a part of our lives in many different facets, whether we talk about real estate or music or art, I want to focus on something you brought up and what attracted you to Goaty. So, oh, my son's, look at this. I guess I didn't tell him that I was in the middle of a presentation, but I got to show off when you've got an awesome kid. He just brought me.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So that's, everybody can watch Ashton. He streams for Goaty. He streams for Garth on Goaty's 22 Racing Series. And I similarly, like you, was sold, and I chose to make a major investment of my funds into Phantasma for coins when I bought myself a PC, and then I got myself 22 Racing Series, and I said, all right, I got to understand something here. This team here has worked on some major titles, and they were dropping names like Star Wars and Transformers and some beautiful names. What is their attraction to Phantasma? Why did Goaty choose
Absolutely,
Phantasma? And that was a question I needed answered. Can you answer that?
Oh, sure.
I would love to hear your answer.
There is no other chain that offers what Phantasma offers. So easy. I've looked around the whole ecosystem, and that's why I know I don't want to recommend it to anyone, but I'm 100% in Phantasma, and have been for quite a long time. Because just the sheer passion of the team, for one, the community engagement, how transparent Bill and everyone has been in the Telegram group, the whole community itself, just how friendly and helpful and open they all are, and how much effort they put into themselves. And yeah, the pure technology is just, no one has to offer free transactions, even though it's not free, but it's sponsored. But that's one issue that just has to be solved by any chain. It has to have unlimited scalability. There's no way around that. It has to have easy access, easy barriers, which Goaty has built themselves with Pavilion. And another major issue is it's not just that everything has to work and perfectly and be fine. It's also just that everything has to be available. If you're looking for future solutions, it just has to have everything. A one-stop solution, which is just Phantasma's purpose.
Mm-hmm. It is, especially for Goaty and for gamers. And we just had our AMA with Bloodrune, and we had Senjin and Joseph. And I'd never met Senjin prior to doing the AMA. And what I thought was really awesome was his story was identical, or very, very similar at least, to Brooke and Garth's. And this is a dude that I mean, he's worked for THQ, DreamWorks. He was contracted by Disney. He worked on the Incredibles 2 video game, and a couple of others. I don't have my notes in front of me. And it was just like, what attracted these phenomenal developers? And when I look at blockchain games today that exist in 2020 today, there's not a game that is out there today that's even close to the quality of 22 Racing Series.
No, by far not.
And these are games that are marketed to the crypto community. They're not games marketed to gamers.
Oh, and it's developers from the crypto community also that are developing it. It's nothing that's been long-term developed. If you look at games themselves, a normal game needs years of development, not just 6 months in a little cellar room.
That's... See, you know, I remember when I was in high school, I was in an accounting class, and I had my teacher tell me, and he's like, you want to become a millionaire, become an accountant, and then develop software. Because all accounting software back at that time was developed by developers. And then I worked for a software company in the year 2000 and recognized that, you know, it's transportation software, that you had to have people in the transportation industry build the software. You can't just have developers come in and grasp it. And that's the same concept we're talking here with 22. And so you've got, getting back to these high-end developers that searched out and found the right blockchain. And they like Phantasma because Phantasma has got fast transactions, 5,000 transactions per second. and ridiculously low transaction fees that are paid by
Yeah,
KCal compared to Ethereum.
it's not even that. It's just everything. If you read the white paper, it's just got a whole solution, a round package of everything included. It starts with other chains that are fast, that have a gas token that doesn't do a cosmic swap. Then, so you buy into it and you can't start with it. You need to generate it then over days. With Phantasma, you can claim 24 hours ahead and straight away can start. And if you don't have the gas, you can, for Neo, for example, you have to buy the gas, have it sitting in the wallet to use it. We have the same issue now when we're doing cross-chain swaps to Neo. We need to buy the gas token, have it in the wallet, and then we can do the cross-chain swaps. With Phantasma, you just have the one token, you buy the one token, it does the swap for you in the back end, straight away generates for you, and then you can use the whole ecosystem.
Just fascinating. And, I can't wait to get Sergio on here for one of these AMAs and learn about his story and, where he comes from the Neo community. And he won a prize for Nacho Man.
Yeah.
And, that's what kind of... And so you've got these, like, prodigies behind us. It's just an incredible team. So you've talked about why Phantasma and why you like it, and you've put your investments into this, and you've gotten involved with the community, and you participate in the Telegram group. What are some of the things that others can do to help our community?
Yeah, do what you can do, I'd say. Probably every helping hand counts. I mean, even if you just sit on Telegram and help new users joining whenever demand is there, new users come in and you answer questions there, it's great help. Tell friends, tell anyone interested about it. Do advertising if you're into that business. Anything you're passionate, just put your passion then into Phantasma. Direct it in the right direction.
I gave you questions before this event, and I told you that there's going to be some questions that I'll put you on the spot, and I like to do that. I like to, put you on the spot and think about that and hear from you as a community member what other people can be doing, because it's
definitely. Yeah, limits are not existent, actually. For example, I thought of an idea just 2 weeks ago, which I actually find quite interesting. And I reached out to Vincent, and what Vincent said is, do it yourself. If I'm good, I can learn coding in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's what sort of developers are on it. That's what the community sort of is. And I'm starting now to look into coding now too, because I want to bring out adapt. Yeah. So anyone can do anything what they want.
Yeah, there is, and like we just had our Ethereum interpretability launch and swaps, and we've got Soul and KCal on Uniswap, and as far as the liquidity pool, there are some great benefits that LPs, liquidity pool providers can provide and get some benefits from that, and earn a percentage of the transaction fees, and that's another aspect for people to help out if they don't have the time to be able to invest. But there are a lot of things we're doing at Phantasma, and I want to remind you that at the beginning of January we'll be having another State of the Chain, and covering all the different aspects that are going on in the back end. There's quite a bit, and very exciting for that.
Yeah.
So taking a look at some community members here and whatnot, and let's learn a little bit. Let's get a little bit more personal with you and learn a little bit about what do your days look like. If you're spending some time into Phantasma, and what do you do for a living?
Oh, well, I'm still a student, so I'm in uni, and even at uni sometimes I have my laptop with me, and I am sitting. I've got Telegram in the back all the time, just chatting. I get money from the state for study. Don't know what it's called, BAföG. It's in German. So then I get home and I read, or I spend time on Telegram and do stuff for the community. That's actually literally my whole day.
and sometimes working on cars.
Sometimes. Well, it has to be, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and actually that's funny. I have a funny story. I've been having
Yeah.
issues with my computer for some time, and you had some issues this morning. And do you actually? You know what? Do you want to? Do you mind if I show that video? What you
Oh,
sent me
sure,
about an
sure,
hour
for sure.
before we started, just so people can see.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I don't want to take anything away from Phillip here. He's a very very smart and very techy man, and for when techs and us geeks run into technical problems, it's really really frustrating. So we've got a 45-second video here. I'm just going to throw on, and Phillip sent me this an hour before the AMA today, and I was like, oh boy,
40 minutes beforehand, I think it was.
40 minutes. Yeah. All right, let's switch over.
What the?
There you have it. What'd you do to solve it?
Oh, I figured out. Well, I've got issues always with my laptop. In fact, it's a bug from my Surface. I don't know, Surface laptop. No, it's not a Surface laptop. Something like it. That it discharges faster when it's in use than it actually charges. So I tried to charge it then directly in the wall, which gave it a little bit more power, and that worked when I waited 5 minutes.
Yeah. Funny. Sometimes it's the simplest little things, and I'm just going to quickly share my story here, but then I want to ask you about some of that technology that we saw in that video, and why. I saw a green screen, I saw some fancy lights, you got a nice expensive microphone, you got some high quality equipment, so we'll explore that. But so I've been having issues with my laptop, and it's been going for 4 or 5 months, and I just got so frustrated last week, I just said, that's it. And I wiped it clean, put in a whole new OS, and I've never had to do that with a Mac before, and it was still acting up. I was on a call last night on Skype, and I'm hitting 95% CPU just doing Skype, and I'm like, I'm just so frustrated. So I took a step back, brought the laptop down to the garage, fired up the old big compressor, and blew the crap out of it. And lo and behold, my vents were clogged with dust, and what was happening was there was not enough airflow, and the CPU would get too hot, and then it wouldn't perform right. And I was like, man, how many hours I wasted on, and sometimes it's just the simplest little things. Yeah, so I saw a green screen. I saw some lights. You had moved around. You showed me your room a little bit earlier. What's going on? What are you up to?
Yeah, well, I've had my studio equipment actually quite a few years. I think probably around 10 years or maybe a little bit longer that I've been making music. So that's actually that, with the green screen, etc., for videos and so. And I've been quite a bit bigger. We've had, I think our maximum was 250,000 views, playing in Nepalese radio too, also.
Wow.
So back in 2019, 2018, I thought just to take my passion by then, which was crypto, just into music. So I started making crypto music, which is at the moment a little bit on hold because of Corona. You guessed it. But yeah, the moment vaccines are up, and so I'm back into it. And just this morning, I picked up for the stream a new USB microphone too, because I want to start streams too, and a webcam actually too, which I didn't tell you, I think, prior to the video. I picked up in the store too for the streaming, because I want to stream 22 Racing Series mainly. I think about a week ago, I made one TikTok video of Rocket League that was, and I got 2,500 views in about 5 hours. So I thought of a couple of strategies actually to just start marketing actually. One thought, for example, was now to start Rocket League streaming a bit on TikTok to grow my TikTok audience. And then I was gonna maybe make short videos about the cars, which in Rocket League actually look absolutely shitty. And then switching it to a hypercar from 22 Racing Series. And then just like an end, what's better? So you don't need more for TikTok videos. And then just short videos about ownership and so on, once I've built a little bit of followership there. Yeah, and I've got the green screen also for marketing videos that I'm planning to make for 22 Racing Series, and yeah, music videos just in general, and stuff like that, just everything I could do on the media side of things.
That's awesome. That's really cool. You know, you'll have to look 22. There's an unofficial 22 series on TikTok. Go and find it and follow it. That's Ashton actually runs that one.
Sure,
but it is unofficial right now, and Garth is just kind of seeing how TikTok is before they invest their time and energy on that. But TikTok, man, it's different.
Yeah, it has a lot more videos just that people consume because you just swipe videos. It's a lot of shit on it. I say it like that, but the algorithm is just so aggressive, so you can actually become like a influencer, a star in a week. I've seen people go from zeros just starting their account to 1 million if they have the right content on TikTok. So it's crazy stuff what TikTok can actually bring.
Wow. Yeah, there was somebody. I was doing some research in terms of YouTube influencers, and I forget the company name, but I was researching Mr. Beast, and he's probably one of the biggest YouTubers out there, 45 million followers or something like that, and he started a gaming channel, and so his media company had this other new influencer on there. I've never heard of her before, and went and researched her, and in April of this year, she was a nobody. She put up one video on TikTok, and within a month had 1 million followers, and now people are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to her as an influencer. Like, legitimately goes from nothing to 6 figures a year at 15 years old in 6 months. And
just need the right hashtags, just need the right content. It's crazy.
Wow. Amazing. So talking about 22 Racing Series and Travala, you brought up a point to me before we started this. And what was that point?
Yeah, the sale for the first Travala car for the Black Friday vehicle is about to end, I think. Is it when we finish the stream, or when around in half an hour or 1.5 hours? I'm not sure now.
I think it's in 90 minutes. I think it ends at 3 p.m. my time. So
that's likely, yeah.
87 minutes. And I'm watching the bids here on Telegram.
Yeah, I don't think if I've read it, I don't know if I've read it 100% right, but I think if I read it correctly, it's only the winners of this vehicle, or the bidders, the bid winners of this vehicle, that can race the founders, and we get them 3 vehicles for beating them, if I'm correct with that. I think I read that on Pavilion.
You did
Which
read
is huge,
something.
so
Yeah, you did read something like that.
It said entries to the races are for every owner of the Black Friday vehicles, and these are the sales are the Black Friday vehicles that are being sold or being auctioned. So if it's not also the other ones, I'm not sure about that, but if it's only these 8, you can imagine what they're worth. If you're good at 22 Racing Series.
Well, see, now that's exactly where I'm going with this, and I'm thinking, well, wait a minute here. When I look at the leaderboards on 22 Racing Series, you've got House Party, you got Crypto Racer, you got SEMA, and my son, and they're all 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're all different, switching. So it's like, I should go buy one of these and go and hire House Party, and say, hey, go drive my car. Like that works in the real world.
You won't have to beat any one of those, though. You won't have to manage to be top of the leaderboard. All you have to do is beat the founders of Travala, who probably aren't big in racing, I assume, or haven't at least had the time to play a match, I'd guess.
Yeah, well,
so chances shouldn't be that bad, actually. And I just know how much the signed Goatee White, was it, or Phantasma White, went for. I think signed like 50,000 soul in a sale with 3 vehicles. I think Jay bought it for that. And signed once from Travella, and they are huge community. Definitely is attractive, I'd say.
That's wild. Yeah, that's fun. Well, that's going to be a fun race. And you know what else that means for 22 Racing Series? Is in order to race against the founders, one major feature has to come out. Multiplayer. And
well, you can probably race them though with leaderboards though. Would probably also be possible, no?
well, yeah, I guess you can. You know what? Maybe we need to look for some clarity for that. But from my understanding is that you know, leaderboards are on target, and we're going to see multiplayer come out Q1. And the reason why I'm bringing that up for Q1 is for me, I think that's the door opening for 22 Racing Series. That's going to have the staying power, and to be able to race others. I think that's the key that's going to make that game just.
One of the points, definitely, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, one of them. But yeah, I think that's a big one. So I'm excited for that. That's cool. So
absolutely, me too.
do you play 22 on that Surface?
I haven't for a couple of weeks now, but I haven't been really active on Telegram too because the car of my girlfriend has broken down. So I've been actually full force in my free time repairing the car now the last 2 weeks. But prior to that, I've actually bought a force feedback wheel just for the pleasure of it, and yeah, I've been playing it.
Dude, I can't wait to see some of that streaming. I'm gonna push you hard to get that going with a force feedback wheel. That would be great.
Shaku, I am on the leaderboard if you see me there.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Shaku?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
That's one of them.
Yeah.
I've had 2 or 3 because I forgot my password actually, and Goatee by then didn't have a password recovery, so I had to create a new account then.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's cool, man. That's great. Well, that's going to be a good tournament coming up, and we'll definitely be looking out to see you there.
And I can definitely tell everyone who wants pleasure out of the game, who wants real pleasure out of the game, it's a whole nother level using a wheel than a controller. Times won't get better, but just the pleasure out of the game is a different level. Yeah. But I think that's pretty much with every racing game.
Yeah, it is. It is. And but this racing game is definitely unique in its own way.
Absolutely. Crazy.
Same thing as Blood Ruin. You know what's coming up, and on that note, let's bring this full circle here because we first started to talk about use case and the adoption of blockchain, and that was the big caveat that you recognized within Phantasma, why you invested your time, your money, your energy, and why you've stuck with this project, the different benefits, the different features that we've identified, but it comes down to use case. And you had said something that I really liked earlier about, you know, you recognize that aspect of use case for Phantasma. We're seeing it now with self-minting being launched. We've got some artists all lined up. We've got some musicians all lined up for the Soul Challenge. So that's just going to, you know, be awesome once that's released. And then, then of course our DAP partners, our games, and you know I'm constantly saying I know that there's games out there that have 50,000, 100,000, 250,000 gamers, not 1 million following, but mid-sized games that they're having discussions internally about. Hey, we want to put our game on a blockchain. What do we do, and where do we look?
Absolutely.
Yep. And I know those conversations are happening, and that's why I know 2021 is going to be super exciting for Phantasma because we're ready.
Yeah, I mean, they have the SDKs, etc., to hook up the blockchain.
Right.
And if you think about it, a game with 50,000, 100,000 users would destroy, actually, any chain that now took them under their hood. They just couldn't handle the transactions with it. So, yeah, that's a thing. That's why I'm at Phantasma. That's why if I found a second blockchain that had the same things to offer, I'd invest in them too.
Yeah.
But Phantasma is the only one in the whole ecosystem of crypto.
That's right.
They can just literally say, hey, you can bring 1 million users, you can bring 5 million users. It could be a top game, and they could scale it if they had to, easily.
Well, I think of Bitcoin is like the Amazon in the world, and Ethereum is like the MySpace. And it took an operationally driven organization, not a marketing driven organization, an operationally driven organization to dominate the globe and the internet, and that was Google. And all they did is they continued to build high quality algorithm, a high quality company, and it took them 3 years before they started to get their particular exposure and then identify the use cases. I mean, back in the 90s, search engines, how's there value in search engines? In 1995, 1998, even when Google had its inception, nobody can conceptualize that Google would turn out to be the fastest growing and the largest company in the history of the world.
Absolutely.
The fastest growing.
I'd actually nearly disagree with Bitcoin being Amazon or something like that, because if you look at the space, actually, people who are investing in the price that's actually making up these coins are speculators. Everyone is a speculator. There's no one there who's buying it for actual usage. There's no one not knowing about blockchain who's using and contributing to the price. And price isn't just made up of people holding the tokens. Price is made up of volume. Price is made out of usage and just the pure demand. And it doesn't matter what demand comes from. Speculation is actually a bad demand case.
Right, I agree.
See it as.
Yeah.
So if any chain now brings out a game or whatever they're doing, or a dApp, all they're targeting is crypto users that already hold crypto, if you think about it. So actually the border just absolutely stay clear. There is no one who's broken through the barrier to reach the mass markets. And that's what will count. If I use Google isn't valued so high because speculators have bought the shares. Google is so high because millions and millions of users are actually using the search engine. So for 22 Racing Series or any dApp that comes alive, it could easily surpass Bitcoin. It wouldn't matter which chain it is. It just has to target. Yeah, it's true. It just has to target users. And if any game reaches, and it's a multi-trillion-dollar market, gaming, I think is it was a nearly 1 trillion market or so. I'm not 100% sure there. If those users come in and just use it and bring volume to it, the price would skyrocket. No one would have to even buy the tokens. They would be using the chain. And that's for anything. It's not just gaming. That's the great thing about Phantasma, actually, if you think about it. It's for everything, for any solution. Like I can say what I was thinking about. Someone can steal it from me and be faster. That's fine. But I thought of the idea. Actually, I don't know if you've heard of Hope, he's called. And he's claimed the moon in 1970, actually. So it's a private person who's selling property. Yeah. But it's actually stars have bought it, and there are retailers selling it, etc., selling these licenses. And I just thought of how funny it would be to actually take that to a next level and offer a 3D model of the actual moon, combine it with NFTs underlaid with property licenses, with true property licenses from Hope, and sell moon tokens that actually have a use case, sort of that you've got it as an NFT on the blockchain and can actually watch your property. And maybe even in future, if I get really good at coding, I could develop it to a phase that you could actually build 3D worlds into the actual moon or something like that. You know what I mean? Use cases are endless for that.
You're a fascinating dude. You know, when we're having our meetings internally, and I was asking the team, I said, who do you guys think would be good for a SOULdier story? You know, before we start reaching out to the community, and which on that note, anybody that's watching, if you've got a good story to share, we'd love to have you on here. But yeah, Bill's like, you got to talk to Phillip. He's let him show some of his gadgets and stuff like that. Boy, you're a smart dude, man. Good respect. That's great. So yeah, you didn't agree with my analogy that Bitcoin was couldn't be the Amazon, and I'm not going to challenge that.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it hasn't reached even near the borders to actually become it yet. and it can be anyone who can offer the actual Amazon then.
Yeah, and I think
said,
that was a tough analogy. My objective there was to relate Ethereum to MySpace, and I think that that's a pretty darn good relation. You know, they were the first ones to the game, but they are slow and sluggish and ugly compared to what we can do for our DApp partners. And Bitcoin, you know, analogy to Amazon. I have a book in my bathroom reader, you know, Guinness Book of Records, World Records, and it's the year 2000 I have. And even in the year 2000, Amazon was considered the largest online retailer. And 20 years later, they still are. And so that was they were 6 years old back then. You were probably 6 years old back then.
Very likely, yeah.
Yeah, very likely. You're not going to divulge his age. That's all good. But we do know you're a uni student.
But an old one because I've worked prior to uni. I'm born 91.
Oh, that's my best friend is actually born that year. Yeah, that was a good year. Good music that year. I remember that.
I don't.
I think that was my first year I smoked some weed. 1991, probably. I went to my first Guns N' Roses concert that year. I think I was 16 years old. Wow. Funny. So, listen, yeah, it's been great. And, you know, we could definitely talk about where we speculate in our belief system in what Bitcoin is. But like you say, it's speculation. And there's not a lot of merit to speculation. And I think 2017 and 2018, when you came into the marketplace, there was a lot of speculation. And I think that's the real difference about this last bull run. And the bull run now, it looks like it's, you know, we're in a consolidation. We may even have a pullback with some Bitcoin. But there has been more money brought into the altcoin market space in the last 3 months than there has been in the history of altcoins. And the billions of dollars that have been come in, and looking what happened 2 years ago, we're getting ready here for eyes on Phantasma. I
don't want to say anything about that, but there's money coming in. Is not coming into any use cases. It's pure speculation.
Fair enough. But, yeah. You know, the money is definitely going into to Bitcoin and Ethereum. But that conversation of use case is the key benefit for Phantasma with this conversation, I think. And that we actually have businesses today running on our chain. It's not speculation. And no,
it's not even that. It's if you think about it a little bit more, you've got other companies that actually can offer solutions, but it's say a company offering a specific platform for gaming that works okay, but it's gaming. Then you've got another company that does private transactions great and offers some other DApp. But that's great for that sector too. But if you look at say the mobile industry, you had companies say like Nokia focusing on actual hardware or focusing on just the usage of emails or BlackBerry or so. The ones that succeeded were the ones that had an all-around ecosystem that just came in and could use everything they needed, like Apple or like Android, busting Nokia platform, Nokia's own platform, and things like that. Have you frozen?
No, I'm just fascinated by you.
No, but your picture for me is frozen.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Okay, it looks like we're still live though. Everything else is still working good, so we'll stick with that. Maybe it's the surface side of it, or you said something about Apple, but yeah. But I just wanted to say that was an awesome analogy. That was a really good observation that I hadn't. That's something I hadn't actually heard of before. That type of perspective and relating it to the cellular marketplace.
Now you're moving again. No, it's even further. If I think that further, actually, my total vision for the whole sphere, the whole crypto sphere, would be platforms. Say Phantasma at the top, of course, because we were pro Phantasma, but also others. Say Bitcoin is doing great, has a huge ecosystem. Phantasma is great, has a platform to offer. But let's say three three gaming platforms exist. Isn't that what we're actually in crypto for? To break free these boundaries? I've got Epic Games, Epic Game Launcher. I've got Steam. I've got 10 different hubs where I can download games, but they can't communicate with each other. What Phantasma's approach is actually cross-chain, and it's cross-chain to Ethereum now, which doesn't have, or it has much benefits, but not in terms of usability, the way I see it. But when we get later and later in the stages of development, and the scene gets riper, there would be a couple of dominating companies. And if these companies go actually cross-chain to each other, a user will actually be able to just get the game he wants, swap it around in the platforms, will be able to communicate platform to platform with a cross-chain, and just everything can be interconnected, and it will be more about the dApps actually running, with the developers just choosing the dApp or the ecosystem where they want, or building on a couple at the same time. It wouldn't matter. And they would just be in the space. And it would be then about which dApp is the user using, not which blockchain, because the blockchain is just the road. I don't look outside and care about what road am I using. Like, right? I don't care if I'm driving in Germany or if I drive over the border to Belgium. What I care about is which car I'm driving in, right? So, yeah, so that's where I see the space actually in 10 years, 20 years. It will take ages to get there, but initially eventually we'll get there.
So, TikTok 60-second videos. You just had about 4 gold pieces right there. We're gonna have to pull down. I'm not kidding, man. That was like, there was some gold in the last 2 to 3 minutes there that you were talking about. That's just, you're a brilliant man, and I just want to thank you for giving us your time today and sharing some of your stories. I could definitely foresee inviting you back sometime next year, because your insight is awesome, and it's always great to hear a different perspective. But sometimes, you know, a lot of these perspectives are just regurgitated from somebody else, and you tend to hear them over and over and over. You're offering some fresh content and fresh perspectives, and that's what I really enjoyed about this AMA.
Yeah, well, I actually haven't heard from anyone this approach. That's my pure own thought. Yeah. Whenever I've spoken to it in Telegram groups, they tend to go on defense and to see it as something bad, thinking they're staying behind, maybe because the tech is so shitty, I don't know. But it's not something to confront someone, actually, is it? It's like, it's pure the benefit of everyone, because our economy isn't based on Germany doing great. No, we profit if other countries do great too, that can then buy from us. The others make gains for the own one.
Can you tell that to our president over here?
Oh, not going down that route. Sorry, but me as an Australian, just to get a little bit political, I support Donald Trump because what China's doing to Australia and just taking over the country into other countries is just crazy. And I know, or I've heard of prosecution of Uyghurs and just what goes on in China, and I don't want to support other countries. I'm, due to my dedication to law, totally convinced of democracies, and I'm just in love with constitutions. So I can't support any country that sells out their own country. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
That's been the last the approach of the last 20 years.
Yeah.
From Germany, from anyone, and we can't backtrack anymore because we're so invested in their countries, and they can do literally what they want with us.
You know, 2020 has been quite an awesome year, and living in America, and as a Canadian, I'm just a green card holder, so I can't vote in this country, and thank gosh I can't, because it's disgusting how divided everything's been. But the fact of the matter is I love people that are on both sides of it, and one thing I've loved about crypto is there is no politics in crypto. Well, not, you know, there's politics, but not government politics. And, you know, it got me away from all the bullshit that went on in this country this year. And I don't care who you support. And if I've come across Democrats
Just
that
to
I
make things
argue.
straight, though. Just to make things straight, though, I don't like Donald Trump. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking just about the pure politics
Yeah,
that
yeah,
have been
yeah.
done. So,
Well, he's the
yeah,
first man to ever shake the hands of a North Korean. And you look at there's quite a few things
there's
here he
always
did here
two sides to a matter. Yeah,
for the medical community and the medical world that is never talked about. There's a lot of good, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
yeah, yeah.
Because we'll
Whatever.
definitely cannibalize our audience if we discuss politics.
Both are good. Both are good.
Yeah. And crypto is what keeps me smiling and happy. So
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I think that would be a good time to wrap this up, dude. And again, I just want to say thanks, and I hope I have the permission to invite you back again.
Anytime. My
I think
pleasure.
you did a great job, and we're going to be able to pull out some good snippets here because you had some awesome insight. So,
Well, I'm grateful for anyone contributing, also from the team to Phantasma. So, because your work helps my investment too, or all of our investments too. So I thank you
yep.
just the same.
Go make some money like us and put some coins into the liquidity pool, guys, on Uniswap. Don't forget to bid. You've got 1 hour left to bid on, the number 8 Travala car of 8 cars. And I think sometime this year we're going to be self-minting. That's all I'll say.
Sounds good.
All right, dude. Thanks, Phillip. We're going to switch off, and you just stay on the line there, okay?
Yeah, sure. Okie dokie. Bye.
All right. Bye, guys. Till next week.